Welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, driven by your Southern California Honda dealers. I'm Allie Clifton, joined by...
You know what time it is. First one of the year. I had my knee replaced. Send them in. Big game before the All-Star break. Let's get a little Matrix going. Boom!
Do it, big game.
The worthy clap is back. Send them in. Send them in right now, baby.
The worthy clap is back, and we're going to hear from
Got a new knee.
Worthy and that new knee in just a few moments. But first, let's go back out to Denver. Anthony Davis is with Mike Trudell.
All right, Anthony, you guys really battled for this one. You get into overtime after that miss. What was the difference down the stretch for you guys to pull this out? A tough game, tough place to win.
My bad, buddy, because I missed that free throw at the end. He's bothering me. But defense, you know, they came out and started third, made shots. We wasn't playing defense, and our second unit came back and got us back in the game. And then, you know, we just came down and finished towards the end of the game. You know, getting big stops and making big shots. So, you know, we just stayed with it. I mean, this is a team who likes to come back in the second half. We had a lead at halftime, and we knew they were going to do, especially here at home. A great team, you know, and Coach talked about, you know, this being, you know, a personal game. You know, obviously they're second in the West and 3 games behind now 4, but, you know, we want to make sure that we come in and get a win on the road heading to All-Star.
I know you're lamenting the missed free throw, but you hit a pair of threes in the overtime. You got the block on Jokic inside, so no, you can feel good about that, right? Take a little credit.
Yeah, but I don't miss free throws. I missed 3 tonight. I take pride in my free throws, and especially late game like that. You know, to seal a win, obviously we were up 4, but you know, I got to do a better job at the line. But, you know, just try to keep playing. You know, the shot wasn't falling early, and my teammates just told me to stay with it, and I was able to make some big shots. I missed 3 tonight. I take pride in my free throws, and especially late game like that. You know, to seal a win, obviously we were up 4, but you know, I got to do a better job at the line. But, you know, just try to keep playing. You know, the shot wasn't falling early, and my teammates just told me to stay with it, and I was able to make some big shots in overtime.
All right, just summarize the first half of the season for us, AD, going into the All-Star break. You guys are in first place in the West, done a lot of good stuff so far, but what do you think you have to get to?
It's been fun. It's been a fun first half of the year. You know, we really gelled. We had our struggles, but we continue to fight, continue to be with each other, continue to be together, and you know, we're going to need it for the second half. You know, it's obviously going to be a lot tougher, you know, but we know what we're getting ourselves into. But we're just going to keep fighting, keep playing together, keep playing for each other, and, you know, try to have a better second half than we did, than we had the first half, and pick it up back defensively. You know, I think that was our biggest thing late in the first half of the season. You know, we kind of slipped defensively, and you know, we got to pick it back up defensively in the second half, and I think we should be fine.
Have fun back in Chicago for All-Star, all right?
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, guys, Anthony Davis going home to his Chicago hometown, of course, helping the Lakers here secure a terrific first half of the season with an overtime.
Hall of Famer, big game of juice. And, of course, your Lakers insider, Mike Bresnahan. The numbers did not disappoint. You got your number 1 team versus your number 2 in the West. Not only is it a hard place to play in Denver, but it's a hard place to win. That was fun, competitive, entertaining. And you speak about what the staple has been for this Lakers squad all season long, and it's come on the defensive end of the floor. And that's what it came down to at the end of the day. Many timely stops, but none other bigger than that KCP steal, of course. The Lakers had 8 steals that really set the LeBron James. Guys just driving this one home on both ends of the floor. Big game.
Yes, I thought from the beginning of the game they were really connected defensively. You know, they're back to talking to each other again, covering each other's back. The rotations were good. No one panicked. And I thought when they needed big blocks by AD, vertical rule, and then the steal by Pope, you know, Caruso coming in, being extremely impactful in the game in the fourth quarter. They kept their nose to the grind and just they earned this one tonight.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think everybody was on the string. You know, being connected is so important. And when it comes down to the grit and grind of the game and closing, they did a remarkable job at understanding their rotations and even sometimes some miscues, but recovering. Anthony Davis did a remarkable job at just patrolling that paint and getting key stops and turning those stops into like some transition offense where Joker wasn't even back in the picture a lot of the times and it was going downhill.
And AD, 2 big threes in an overtime period, too, unveiling that other element that we haven't seen a ton of this season. But, guys, thinking big picture for a second. Back in December, the Lakers lost 4 in a row. People started to doubt them a little bit. Just this past week, they lost at home to Houston with a victory. This here, though, this is why people should not doubt the Lakers. And something special is going on. The Kobe chants in Denver, excuse me, while AD is talking to Mike Trudell. Very special.
Yeah, Lakers pick up their 41st win, but they also improved to 17-1, have now won 16 straight on the road versus Western Conference teams. It's quite the number, and they are a strong bunch away from home.
Right.
As we get you back out to Denver for 121-16, the Lakers head into the break with a record again of 41-12. Anthony Davis and LeBron James combined for 65 of the Lakers' 120 points. LeBron picking up his 12th triple-double of the season, 32, 12, and 14. Jamal Murray leads the Nuggets with 32 and 10. Let's hear from Frank Vogel. He's speaking with Mike Trudell in the media.
Frank, first of all, what did you think flipped the game around after Denver went up by 13 to get you guys going in the other direction in the first half?
I think Dwight and Alex, really gave us a lift. Dwight with his matchup on the Joker, physicality with which he played, and Alex is our secret weapon. He comes in and he usually provides a spark off the bench, and I think those two guys were pivotal. But I think LeBron and AD's determination to win this game was extremely admirable. And, was prevalent all throughout the game, including during that stretch.
Hey, you made that switch at halftime with Dwight. What did you think about doing with Caruso and, kind of when to put him in? As you said, he ends up plus 23, I think, for the evening.
Yeah, plus 23 in 22 minutes. We're doing some different things with the rotation, which means we just basically bring him in the second quarter, for Rondo and in the fourth. And, he played so well. In the first half, that we thought about bringing him in early, but Doe was really good last game, so we gave him an opportunity. Came in, played well, but we knew we could come back to Alex in the fourth down the stretch. With a small lineup, we could go. When we slide AD to the 5, we can go a number of different ways. We can go Kuz there. We can put LeBron at the 4 and play Danny and Avery and KCP, or sometimes we put Alex in there. You know what I mean? And as we can go, he was really good in the first half, and great in the second half as well.
AD had some of those defensive plays in the fourth quarter, and then obviously the threes in overtime. How do you kind of feel like he handles some of those situations late and sort of adds to his toolbox or pulls more things out of the toolbox?
Yeah, well, I mean, you just said it. I mean, you answered your own question with the threes, the big threes. He's making down at crunch time. It's tough to score. On the road against a good defensive team at crunch time, and Bron's getting great penetration. We're attacking Joker at 5 fouls, and when they brought help, AD punished him with big threes. And then obviously what he does on the defensive end is just he's a defensive player of the year. You know what I mean? So you can put him on anybody, he guards anybody, dominates anybody, and he was great down there on that end again tonight.
Is Caruso's role defined, or is there a possibility for it expanding as we head down the stretch?
There's a possibility for it expanding. Right now he's my secret weapon. I break him out when I need him. He's certainly earned a rotational spot, and he's in the rotation. And like I said, like when we need him to grow into a bigger role, he delivers. So we got a number of guys that guys just keep pushing each other. With great games. KCP plays well, so all of a sudden, it's like, where do we find him extra minutes? And Avery starts making shots. Rondo was great the other night. It's a different guy every night, and it's a testament to our culture of guys pushing each other, pulling for each other, and making my job hard.
When you talk about that determination that AD and LeBron had to win this game, are you seeing that in ways that we don't necessarily see just watching from afar?
Yeah, I think LeBron in the locker room had a game face before the game tonight. You just tell he was really, really locked in. Not a foot out the door towards the break type of game. That he was going to have a playoff mindset to it, and he showed that all throughout the game. And AD does it with his play. He just does it with just great determination. Again, the last game before the break, a lot of times, especially when you're on the road in a tough environment, guys will try and compete, but sometimes it's not the best effort. But those two guys were special tonight.
And then the overall matchup, guys, we talked in the pregame about the big matchup inside. Nikola Jokic, Anthony Davis. You look at the final numbers. The Joker, 22, 11, and 6. AD, though, I think getting the final laugh here. 33 points, 10 boards, 2 assists, 2 blocks, and steals. 6 of 9 from the free throw line. Big game.
So who's the best center in the NBA? Didn't they think that?
The Nuggets thought it was the Joker.
Change your caption.
On you tonight,
post out.
Had 2 blocks and really, controlled the game down in the fourth quarter defensively. A lot of times Denver Nuggets were driving into the lane. AD showed up, exit out. So he makes a big impact on the game.
We're going to get your thoughts when we come back. But first, let's go inside the Lakers locker room. LeBron is speaking with Mike.
I feel how he feels.
LeBron, Frank said that you set the tone before the game, just your kind of game face in the locker room. This was not a 1 foot out to the All-Star break type of mindset, and you went on the court and played that way. What was that mindset for you specifically, and how do you think that came onto the court for your team?
I'm just trying to be as laser sharp as I could, laser focused. Understanding that, I know the break was coming, but I didn't want to take this opportunity for granted. I wanted to, play extremely well tonight for our ball club. I wanted us to play extremely well going into the break on a high note. And, our team, we responded very well.
You haven't had a ton of games lately with that kind of possession by possession down the stretch things. What are you looking for there, and especially with AD in the 2-man game and how you guys are able to get good shots?
That's it. We're just trying to get great shots. Trying not to play against the shot clock, which we did a couple times, but for the most part, we got really good shots. And when you're able to do that, you always keep the defense at bay. And for the most part, we was able to knock them down, even though it was a back-and-forth game throughout the whole game.
You could argue that AC and Dwight came in and kind of changed the tempo of the game, especially on defense. So what did you see from Caruso and Dwight, and how big was that?
You said it. I mean, changed the game from an offensive rebounding standpoint, just bullying, whoever was on him, being able to get to the free throw line, getting us into the bonus, getting us some dunks, giving us extra possessions, and then AC defensively was just so in tune, getting steals, getting stops, getting strips, and being a very ultra-aggressive on the offensive end. So those guys were unbelievable off the bench for us.
It's a night like this for AD, continuing his growth process. He has the block on Jokic. He has the threes. It's one of the better teams in the Western Conference. Do you see this as part of his progression this season?
I mean, every opportunity that we get to play in a close game versus a tough opponent, it's a learning experience for all of us. It prepares us, for a postseason game where it's going to be back and forth, back and forth. I thought tonight was a playoff atmosphere, both teams being number 1 and number 2 in the West Conference, jockeying for position. So, just trying to make plays, whatever it takes, on the offensive end, on the defensive end, and and AD was there, knocking down big threes, getting a block, getting some stops. I got the jump ball as well, just big time.
LeBron, with you being injured last year, does that make you, with not making the playoffs, do you feel more on a mission this year did that make you appreciate the game more, not playing last year and not being in the playoffs?
No, I don't need an injury to make me appreciate the game, but coming into this season, just very hungry, very enthused, very motivated on trying to put this team in position to be as successful as we can, and also at the end of the day, not ever skipping the process, and that's just my mindset.
You mentioned, does it make the victory going into the All-Star?
Well, I've been in locker rooms where you're trying to, catch the number 1 seed, and I can probably echo what Coach Malone's speech was those guys are 3 games ahead of us, and if we want to beat the number 1 seed, we got to beat them. They beat us on our home floor before, and let's go get this one. So I had that in my mind, understanding I know what they're thinking over there. I know the dialogue that's probably going over there, and saying they want to, try to get a great win versus us, going into the break. So, I just try to counterproduct that by, bringing that same intensity.
You've been on teams where, you guys have been the number 1 seed. You've been on teams where, you haven't chased that as hard. Is the number 1 seed a strong goal? You guys have been number 1 almost no matter what.
We don't talk about it. We really don't. We just play the game the right way. We don't talk about it. We see the standings. We know what it is, but we don't talk about it. We go out and say, hey, we're the number 1 seed. Let's play. No, we just go play our game. And if it happens, it happens.
You know, the 6-week sprint after the break until the postseason, big picture, what things have you guys done up to this point to make you feel, or what have you done to judge where you guys are at?
Well, we are where we need to be. And, you know, we'll come back off the break and get ready for the final stretch of the regular season. But you don't put too much into it. You understand that you play some good basketball along the way. You play some not good basketball, but you want to continue to get better and continue to trust the process. You know, so we look forward to it when we get back and get back on the floor and see how far we can continue to grow.
I know you don't talk about it amongst each other, but for you personally, how important do you think it is to have the #1 seed?
We don't talk about it. I don't know. At the end of the day, I think every Western Conference team that will make the playoffs can win on someone else's floor. You know, for us, we would love to play in front of our home fans as much as we can. You know, with our Laker faithful. But you know, at the end of the day, you go out and play each and every game like it's its own game, and you can't worry about what can happen the following day. You can only live in the present. So, you know, like we did tonight.
Having a key role in the All-Star game is a big. It's been part of your career for a long time. Do you find any ways to find breaks, just mental, you know, over these? I
try. I truly try, and you know, I got a couple days now where I can try to get a little break mentally. So we see what happens. You know, All-Star break is obviously for guys that are not a part of the All-Star weekend. So I'm very excited about my teammates being able to get some rest, decompress, get away from the game, and come back fresh. And myself will be locked in for them, no matter how much rest I can get. You know, so it doesn't matter.
You have a long-standing partnership with University of Akron through your foundation, and today was announcement that expanding that partnership for your kids to Kent State.
Yep.
What can you tell us about how that came about?
How did it come about? Kent State loves what we're doing. We've always had a great relationship with Kent State and Akron U, and they love what we've been doing at the IPS, and we love the university as well. So it's always mutual when we're able to come together, something like that. So to be able to give free tuition to my inaugural kids, you know, it's crazy. That means I'm like free tuition for 4 years. So they get to decide if they want to get free tuition there or they want to go to Akron U. We have so many options, and I just know that so many kids in my community just don't have many options. So for me to be in a position where I can give these kids options to decide what they want to do with their future, it's probably the best thing I've ever done. Appreciate it.
LeBron picked up his 12th triple-double tonight, and so it led us to this nifty graphic. Now, has the fourth most all-time triple-doubles as a Laker. You look at the players, you got Magic, Elgin Baylor, Kobe Bean Bryant, in a season and a half.
They left off one player.
Who's that?
I got one.
Oh, you already know we're coming back in the next block with a new graphic.
But Al, you're absolutely right. LeBron is in good company, man. The way he controls the game and the way he controls the pace of the game, and still able to find his teammates when necessary. He's a phenomenal player. I mean, he's surpassing everything: free throws, assists, and scoring, and he's an amazing player.
Yeah, I think because he does everything so well, and like we always talk about, 35 years old, year 17, and all the stuff that he's accomplishing. Look, every night he's going to have a new milestone, so it's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, the guy spent, what, $1 million on his body last season? What's he spending now, $2 million? I mean, he's 35 years young. He just keeps turning back the clock. An amazing, amazing way to finish the last game before the break.
Get big game on that graphic.
My picture up there, man.
Still to come. LeBron and Anthony Davis combined for 65 points in the
Made a business decision.
Good career move right there.
Cashing in. 14 points, 11 rebounds for Dwight Howard. His second straight double-double. He's speaking in the locker room with Chris McGee.
Dwight, how key was it for you guys to come into Denver night before All-Star break, stay focused, and get this win?
I think it was very important, you know, that we start to get ready for the second half of the season. It's important that we impose our will on teams, and I thought tonight we did that. You know, we got to do a better job on the defensive end, but you know, the second half of the season, it's time to turn up.
You know, Frank had mentioned just now with the media, you know, a lot of times before the All-Star break, you can see guys are already on vacation. He said with this team, it was a little different before the game. Did you feel that as well?
Oh, yeah. You know, before the game, we all talk. You know, we know that we're going to have a week to ourselves. So tonight was coming out and bringing as much energy as possible and, you know, just to get everything you got. You know, we got a week of rest, so I thought it was important for us to do that tonight, and, you know, we came out and did. You know, guys stepped up and made some big shots, got some big stops, and we got a great win.
You got extended minutes tonight. Did you see that coming? Frank had credited you, especially in that third quarter, and the job you did on Jokic.
Well, you know, I just tried to come in the game and do whatever I can to help this team win, provide energy and effort, and play with the Mamba mentality.
Yeah. And listen, I know it's been a long couple weeks. It's been a couple heavy weeks. How needed is this break?
Oh man, you know, it's been a long couple weeks. You know, I think it's going to be great for us. You know, to really get away and reset and get ready for the second half of the season. You know, right before the break, you know, I think everybody experienced, you know, something that we never thought would happen with the tragic event with Kobe and his family and all the families that were affected. It really affected a lot of us. And, you know, we get this opportunity to really just kind of grieve, get that out the way a little bit. You know, it's going to be tough to, you know, just not think about it, you know, for myself, you know, especially, you know, with me and Kobe being teammates and stuff like that. But, you know, this gives us an opportunity to grieve and get ready for the second half of the season.
I know I speak for everyone. We've really appreciated your candor and your honesty through these last 2 weeks and talking to the media. We know Chicago was going to be special because of the dunk contest. I have to ask, can you share anything that you might do, or is you got to keep it under wraps?
Oh, man, you know, I just really wish that, you know, we could turn back the hands of time. Kobe was for Kobe and for everybody else. But, you know, I'm going to go out there and have fun, try to get the crowd into it. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be an exciting weekend. And I'm really looking forward to it.
41-12, Dwight.
41-12. We got to keep going. We got to stay humble, stay hungry, and keep our eyes on the prize, which is the championship, you know, and it starts when we get back.
There you go.
That's what it's supposed to look like. That's what I'm talking about.
If you got 1 or if you got 31, it's all the same.
Or 138.
Yeah, 138. I'm the 1 and the 138 right there.
How many of those assists was to you? That's what I'm talking about.
There you go. Magic at 100 and, yeah, I got most of his assists. Most of them to a Kareem, actually.
You go, if you got 1, if you got 30, it's all the same.
All the same.
More to come on Access Sportsnet
You're
Lakers.
in the club.
Alex Caruso.
There.
Not Jokic.
He threw it down so hard, the ball ran away, and they had a delay game.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to do it when you decay.
Season 17. Age 35. Alex Caruso scored 10 points off the bench, finished a plus 23. He's speaking with Mike.
All right, Alex, things certainly changed in that first half when you, and to a similar extent, Dwight, checked into the game. What did you think you were able to how did you think you were able to influence the pattern there of the game?
We just started playing hard. I mean, that's kind of what I do best, you know, is making the hustle plays, being physical, and then just being opportunistic on offense, you know. When I have my shots on unders, take them. When I have chances to attack the paint, and then just get after it defensively.
What did you see from LeBron and AD and just their kind of consistent level of focus throughout, especially as things got tight and all those possession for possession you were on the floor with in crunch time and overtime?
Yeah, I could tell they were locked in pregame. Brown had his jersey on with like 80 minutes to go before the game, so that kind of honestly, subliminally, that kind of helped me just lock in and be ready to go if my number was called, and it was. So, I mean, those guys night in, night out do what they do, and I think what gets overlooked is the box outs that they have, the defensive rotations, the rebounds, the stuff that people don't cheer for all the time. You know, not the dunks, not the threes, stuff like that they do that helps us win.
After the game, Frank called you a secret weapon. Obviously, he's aware of being plus 23 in those minutes. What have the conversations been like about role and rotation and, you know, handling the ball versus complementary piece when LeBron's in? Like, how have all that stuff evolved so at this point of the season for you?
I kind of just fit in whenever we need it, you know. The old saying, fit in where you get in. Last couple of games, guys been playing well. AB's been playing lights out lately, so deservedly so. He's gotten more minutes. And for me, it's just, I mean, I said at the beginning of the year and preseason media day interviews, whatever it takes for us to win, whatever my role is, I'm going to do it. And gotten great leadership of that from the older guys, just being ready and whatever it is on a nightly basis that I need to do, just doing it.
Does it feel like
any aspect of the game, you name it, Anthony Davis was a part of it. It felt like the final 12 minutes in overtime, especially Take us through a little Access 360.
Yeah, he did a remarkable job at playing both ends of the floor.